My apologies that this review took longer than expected to come out. After my Halloween Horror Reviews 2021, I wanted to take a little bit of a break. Plus, I started watching this recently, loving it by the way. But now, let's finally talk about this one. So Antlers is a supernatural horror drama directed by Scott Cooper, and in Antlers we follow this teacher played by Carrie Russell who notices that one of her students played by Jeffrey Thomas is very, and I mean very troubled. After some time, we soon discover that the reason why he is very troubled, to say the least, is because he just might be harboring a creature in his home. Alrighty guys, so let's get into Antlers.
Excellent!
Antlers was one of my most anticipated horror films for quite some time for two particular reasons. One, the being that Scott Cooper is directing, who I think is a very underrated director. If you guys haven't seen Black Mass or Out the Furnace, I highly recommend both of them. But also because the film deals with urban legends and folklore. And knowing that Scott Cooper was directing a film about that, you have me sold right there. Scott Cooper you have me sold with, but knowing with urban legends and folklores, give me that ticket right now. And I'm happy to say that I quite enjoyed Antlers. Performances-wise, I thought everyone did a very good job. From Jesse Plemons, Carrie Russell, Jeffrey T. Thomas, everyone did very good, but particularly those three. Jesse Plemons, I thought, did a very good job of playing this cop that gets intertwined with everything that's going on. Carrie Russell, I thought, did a great job. In fact, I thought she was fantastic in this movie of playing this teacher that has so much more going on underneath the surface of her character. And I love the glimpses that we got to her backstory and how her backstory not only ties in everything going on, but how she forms this connection to Jeffrey T. Thomas's character. Jeffrey T. Thomas in this movie is so good in this movie. Now, Jeffrey T. Thomas, I haven't really seen him in a lot of things. When I looked up, he's been in some other things, but primarily TV. Jeffrey T. Thomas is playing the creepy boy character and also the character that is a very deeply disturbed character. One of the things that I absolutely loved about his performance is that Jeffrey T. Thomas in this movie says so much without saying anything in this movie. There is a specific scene in this movie to which he has that scared shitless look in his face, but at the same time, he has that look of, yes, I am terrified, but you do not want to be involved with what I'm going through right now. He has this monologue in this movie that which he goes over this folklore that he wrote. When you see what's going on with the visual imagery and how he's delivering this monologue, creepy? Understatement. One of the things that I want to talk about is the film's story. Now, obviously, no spoilers. With Antlers, I feel like that Scott Cooper was trying to tell two stories in one film. The first story is involving the kid in the Wendigo, and then there's another story that goes into a completely different direction. When this film focuses on the kid in the Wendigo storyline, that is when this film works. And I gotta tell you guys, when this film works, it really works. Something else that I really liked about Antlers was the film's cinematography. Antlers is a very cool looking movie, but really more than anything else, the best way that I describe the look of Antlers is that Antlers is a very gloomy looking movie. Not just in terms of its look, but the vibe it gives off. The way that Scott Cooper uses not only red, but also the way that he uses green with the lush environments in terms of the forest areas, and now he uses light and shadow and also fog. There is a certain scene in this movie into which the cinematography plays a big factor in terms of one of the things that I absolutely love about this film, and that's the atmosphere. There is one particular thing that Scott Cooper does very well with this movie, but not with just this movie, but Scott Cooper's films in general. While Antlers isn't particularly a scary movie, what Scott Cooper does this movie really well is this. He slowly builds up this sense of atmosphere and dread that slowly builds and builds and builds. While this film isn't particularly scary, are there freaky moments? Oh my god, yes. There is a moment in this film in which I want to give it away, but there is a sequence in this film that reminds me of another particular horror film that came out in the 80s, I believe. At the end of the sequence, there is a moment that happens for a split second, and I just went, that was awesome! When it has those freaky scenes, these scenes are freaky. Holy crap, man. The Wendigo design in this movie, fucking awesome.
Well, that's just fucking great!
Antlers was one of my most anticipated movies for a long time, but I gotta be honest with you all. Antlers, in some ways, did disappoint me. In terms of characterization, Jesse Plemons is a great actor. I thought he was very good in this movie. But in terms of his characterization, he didn't really have that much going on with this character. And in fact, The characterization was so thin that I just didn't really care about his character all that much. The story involving the Wendigo I thought was great. That was the movie worked for me. The movie's other story that Scott Cooper was trying to tell, when it goes into that other direction, when it came to this other storyline that I feel like that was trying to do more things than what this movie was trying to do, that is when this movie falters. I definitely feel that there are some scenes that could have either been trimmed or just could have been cut out entirely. Half of the time the pace worked, and half of the time I was just like, okay, let's get it going here. The film's ending does something, and I wished it didn't do it because it does something that it doesn't really need to do, and it sets up something that, quite frankly, I don't think is gonna happen.
And here we go.
So overall, while I feel that Scott Cooper has yet to hit a home run, I still enjoyed Antlers. When this film works, it really, really works. But when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But altogether, I do think that Scott Cooper has made a solid atmospheric creature feature. So all in all, I'm gonna give Antlers a 3 out of 5 stars. I was disappointed in this movie in some ways, but altogether, I did still enjoy Antlers. So comment down below and let me know. What did you guys think of Antlers? Did you like the film or did you hate the film? Let me know below. I hope you all enjoyed my review of Antlers. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for whenever the latest video of mine goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 reviews, please click on it right there or right there. And of course, until my next review or video, I'll see you all next time.